The average American net worth is $1.06 million. Did that make you feel bad about yourself? Because it probably should not. And here's why. That number is one of the most misleading statistics in personal finance. It's the financial equivalent of saying the average person in a room with Jeff Bezos is a billionaire. Technically accurate, completely useless. Today we're talking about net worth, what it actually is, how to calculate yours correctly, why the numbers you've probably seen are almost designed to confuse you, and what your real number actually means. Welcome to Money Moves. Let's get into it. Here's the thing about averages. They get destroyed by outliers. The Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances, the most comprehensive wealth data available in the US, updated every 3 years, shows two numbers for net worth: the average and the median. And the gap between them is the most revealing thing in the entire report. Average American net worth, $1.06 million. That's the number that gets quoted in headlines. That's the number that makes regular people feel like they're failing. Median American net worth, $192,700. That's the number that actually tells you where most people stand. The median is the middle. Half of Americans are above it, half are below it. It's not dragged upward by the Elon Musks and Jeff Bezos of the world the way the average is. The gap between $1.06 million and $192,700 is not a rounding error. It's a $867,300 difference caused entirely by a small number of extraordinarily wealthy households pulling the average into a stratosphere that has nothing to do with where most people actually live. It gets more extreme when you look at it by age. Americans in their 40s have a mean net worth of $743,456. Sounds decent. The median for that same group? $75,719. Americans in their 50s? Mean of $1,364,050. Median of $180,227. Same people, same data. Completely different story depending on which number you use. So the next time someone quotes average net worth at you as a benchmark for whether you're doing well, including any article that implies you should have $1 million by your 40s, you have permission to ignore it entirely. Quick question before we go further. Have you ever calculated your actual net worth? Not estimated, actually sat down and added up assets minus liabilities? Drop yes, no, or I started and then stopped when it got uncomfortable in the comments. I want to know how many people are actually doing this math. If this is your first Money Moves video, this is what we do here. Real numbers, no fluff, no benchmarks designed to make you feel behind. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Free, 2 seconds, worth it. Okay, let's calculate your number. Net worth is not complicated. It is assets minus liabilities. Everything you own minus everything you owe. The number left over is your net worth. Assets are the current market value of your home if you own one, your car at current resale value, not what you paid, what you could sell it for today, your checking and savings accounts, your investment accounts and brokerage accounts, your retirement accounts, 401k, IRA, Roth, any other property or valuables with real market value. Liabilities are your mortgage balance, your car loan balance, student loans, credit card balances, any other debt you owe to anyone. Assets minus liabilities, that's it. Here's where people make mistakes. They count the wrong version of an asset. Your house is worth what the market says it's worth right now, not the price you paid for it, not what Zillow estimated 2 years ago, not what your neighbor sold theirs for. Current market value. Your car depreciates. A $40,000 car you bought 3 years ago might be worth $25,000 today. That $25,000 is your asset, not the $40,000. This distinction matters. And liabilities are the balances, not the monthly payments. A monthly payment is cash flow. Your net worth calculation cares about what you currently owe in total, not how much goes out each month. Do this right and you'll have a number. That number might surprise you, it might disappoint you, It might actually be better than you expected. Whatever it is, it's real. And real is useful in a way that $1.06 million averages are not. Net worth is a snapshot, not a sentence. A negative net worth, more liabilities than assets, is extremely common among people in their 20s and early 30s who have student loans and not much else yet. It doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're early. A stagnant net worth means your assets and liabilities are growing at roughly the same rate. You're accumulating stuff, but also accumulating debt. Worth examining, but not catastrophic. A growing net worth means your assets are outpacing your liabilities. This is the direction you want, and the way you build it is not complicated. Pay down debt, which reduces your liabilities. Save and invest, which increases your assets. Avoid buying depreciating assets with debt, which is a polite way of saying financing a car that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot is doing your net worth no favors. The actual benchmark that's more useful than any national average is your net worth higher than it was a year ago? That's it. That's the question. Trend line matters more than the number itself. Net worth is one of those numbers people almost never talk about openly, so I'll ask directly, without giving the actual number, is yours positive or negative right now? And is it higher than it was 12 months ago? Drop it in the comments. We're building a real picture of where this audience actually stands, and I genuinely want to know. Here's the part that most net worth conversations skip entirely. Your net worth number needs context. Specifically, the context of what you need it to do for you. A $500,000 net worth at 35 is a very different situation than a $500,000 net worth at 62. At 35, you have roughly 30 years of compounding ahead of you. At 7% average annual growth, that $500,000 becomes approximately $3.8 million by traditional retirement age without you adding another dollar. Time is doing enormous work. At 62 with $500,000 and retirement 3 years away, you're looking at a very different conversation about lifestyle, withdrawals, and whether the number is sufficient for what you need it to do. The 4% rule, a widely used retirement planning guideline, suggests you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually without running out of money over a 30-year retirement. At $500,000, that's $20,000 a year. Add Social Security, and for many people, that's workable. For others, it's not enough. Knowing your number tells you where you stand. Not knowing it means you're navigating without a map. Calculate your real number, assets minus liabilities. Use current market values, not purchase prices. Be honest about the debt column. Then ask the one question that actually matters. Is it going up? If yes, keep doing what you're doing. If no, now you know what to fix. That's the whole framework. The benchmark isn't $1.06 million. The benchmark is you, 12 months ago. Subscribe for the next money moves. We're covering the difference between good debt and bad debt, and why that distinction changes everything about how you should be allocating your money right now. Drop a comment. What surprised you most about how net worth actually works? See you in the next one.